Hello. Another rose video for you. This time my white rose is blooming. It's fantastic. This is a grandiflora, and when the rose stem becomes bigger, I think then the roses will become very large. Beautiful color. Beautiful, like my t-shirt, sort of like an off-white, slightly yellow, absolutely gorgeous, little bit pink on the very outer rim of the individual petals. Absolutely gorgeous, like whipped cream. That's what the rose looks like. Absolutely beautiful. Amazing. There's the other bud that is starting to open up as well. Beautiful, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Gorgeous dust. So the sun is setting and I'm gonna sit over here and make a nice garden video for you, listening to the hummingbirds humming and making these snipping sounds. Snip, 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 snip. And they are in their elements right now. There are several flowers that they can drink nectar from. It's really nice. It's wonderful. I love it particularly in the early evenings like this when the sun has settled, because I also like to be out here in the sun, but then I have to have my arms and face in the shadow and my fully covered legs in the sun, so I don't go directly into sunlight. I'm making a video right now, but I'm not filming you. Making a video. So I want to just make a brief video on Papa, come to me. Come to me, baby. Come, my love. There's the Papa dog over there by the rhododendron. Yes, I don't know if the camera. Yeah, that's the Papa dog. So when I hold the camera around like this, when I don't see what I'm filming, then I'm usually not having the picture straightened enough. Yeah, Papa dog, come over here. Yeah, come over here. Yeah, when I turn the eye around, then I can see what I'm filming. Then it's not like, here is the Papa dog, when the Papa dog's over there. Yes, Papa dog, it is nice tonight. So yes, okay, a rose video I wanted to make. And so you can make your own rose cream. It's very simple. If you grow roses in your garden, you take the petals, you pick up the rose, and you just pluck it off underneath the rosebud. And you pick apart the petals, and you lay the petals into a cup, or you can also grind them apart a little bit. If you have one of those marble grinder, like a hand marble grinders. Like, you know, it has a grinder stick and it is rounded, and the grinder ball is rounded, and you can squish seeds with that and grind things. That's what they used to do hundreds of years ago. And so these things are still sold, and I bought mine at Mountain Rose Herbs. They have really great hand marble grinders for herbs to make tinctures with and creams and so on. So, and that's what I did. I put, actually I also soaked it in that marble grinder. I put, and just recently I made a cream. I made an eye cream with this amazing plant that I call Pierre Jardin. And the leaves are very leathery, and I put that into the marble grinder, and I also tore them into pieces. The mosquitoes are coming out, and I squished them with that grinder stick, and that way the essential oils came out, and it got shredded a little bit more. Then I also poured just a carrier oil on it. You can use a carrier oil is any heavy oil like peanut oil or avocado oil or sesame oil, any kind of oil that is very nice and greasy and healthy and good and organic, and that doesn't have much of a scent on its own, just a very light scent. So that way, when you pour this onto an herb, then the oils that are in the herb, they get absorbed by the carrier oil. So the carrier oil carries the essential oils from the herb. But I recommend to you to only put dried petals in it, not fresh petals. So the fresh petals you can eat, or you can make ice cream with it, or a vegan ice cream, or a nice vegan smoothie with it, or you can also make tea with fresh petals or dried petals. But for the rose cream, you have to let any kind of fresh picked herb or flower petals, you have to let that dry first, preferably sun dried. Like lay it out on a towel, on a table, maybe outside if the weather is good. Let that dry, and then once the water has evaporated out of it, then you can put that into that grinder, and you put the carrier oil onto it. Like fill it like half or 3/4 up with carrier oil on top of the herbs, and I wouldn't put more than a handful of herbs into it. And so depending on how strong you're gonna make this infusion, with the Pierre Jardin I only used a handful of those leaves. There is the papa dog, yes, 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 oh God. And because that herb is very strong, so, and that has a very light scent, almost not noticeable, but a very good scent. But that's not, I didn't make this for aromatic purposes. I made that for face cream, wrinkle cream, crow's feet and stuff like that. And that works very well. So the rose petals, the dried rose petals, absorbed by a carrier oil, and then you can grind that up also in that grinding bowl with that grinding stick, which is also made out of marble. You just squish that around for a minute or two until it gets shredded apart, and so that all the essential oils can get picked up by the carrier oil. And then you let it sit like this. You let that sit for a week. And so depends on how strong you want to make it. If you want to make like a rose absolute, then you're gonna have to strain out the rose petals after a while, maybe after 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and into an old sock. That's what I use, an old sock with holes in it that you can throw away afterwards. And then you squish out the oil with the rose essential oil back into that grinder, and you can compost the rose petals and you can throw away the sock. Or what I did today is I used the sock after I put the herbal stuff into my compost. I used the sock to actually wipe wood cabinets with. That works very, very, very well. That has like a double purpose then. So why waste it? You know, you can wipe all of your wood items and make the wood items like new, and make it more fresh looking, and that wipes also dust off and any kind of smudges that got onto it. That's very, very nice for cleaning any kind of wood furniture, or wood cabinets or frames or whatever you have. That's very nice, and it stabilizes also the wood structure. It's very good, particularly if the wood has not been varnished. So, but even if it had been varnished, it adds to the strength. And so that's what I always do. We have a lot of wood cabinets in the house, and I wipe that with it, and it's very, very nice. So also you can wipe whole entire doors with it. I wipe my bathroom door with it. Looks like new. It's really awesome. So yeah, and then if you want to make a strong rose essential oil absolute, then you can put into the same oil that already has some essential rose or herbal oils absorbed into it. You can put another handful of dried rose petals or other dried herbal pieces into it, and let that soak for another 4 weeks. And you can continue that indefinitely depending on how strong you want to make it. So some people they make it so strong that the end result is like a very dark, like a syrupy stuff, you know. So, and that's what Eden Botanicals has. They have a rose absolute. If you buy the 100% concentration rose absolute, it is a very, very dark syrup and almost very difficult to work with, particularly if it comes, it depends on the size bottle, but if it comes in a glass bottle, then it's very difficult to get that out of that glass bottleneck. So that syrup is so thick that it doesn't really want to come out of that. So that's why my recommendation to anyone who creates these very, very strong absolutes. Absolute, the word comes from the abstraction technique, which is it gets absolved, absolute, and a solution that comes from something else. So in that sense, it's called absolute. So it's absolutely great also. So, but it's very, very thick. And so to those people that will have very thick syrup like absolutes, I recommend to use It's better if you use some kind of more like a jar that's wider with a very wide opening and wide lid that you can where you can dig into it with a spatula or something and take some out, kind of like a sugar syrup for bread or something. In the same way, you don't want to have that in a glass bottle where it's, even if you turn it upside down, nothing comes out because the material is so thick. So it's like the same with honey, you want to have those kind of things that are very thick in jars that have a very, very, very wide opening and top on the top and lid. So you take the lid off and you can just dig into it with a spoon or a spatula or a knife. So, and then work with that. I used to buy the 100% concentrations, but it's too hard to work with. So when I buy stuff at Eden Botanicals, I have been lately only buying the ones that have 10%. It would be nice if they also had a 50% or 40% Rose Absolute solution with a carrier oil. So that would be very nice because it would still be strong, but it would come out of the bottle easier. So, and it smells really, really amazing, and they put a lot of work into this, so that a lot of work goes into those things. That's why they're expensive, and I only buy small amounts. Like, for example, I made a real nice face rose cream with that 10% rose absolute dilution in, I think, sesame oil from Eden Botanicals. Very wonderful, smells great. So if I wanted to make my own rose cream, I can do this now because I'm growing these roses. This is now the first summer that I have been able to pick my own roses, and so far only had 2 rose flowers. The very, very light blue, I'm getting bitten up, light blue, light purple one, and this very, very light white yellow one. And so I can't do very much with that. But even if you use just a light solution of roses, that is still very beneficial for your skin. So your skin is gonna love it, So you can just test things out, and fiddle around with it and try different ways of cooking stuff up. I always recommend, if you are working with making the skin creams and you have to heat it up, to heat it only on a very, very mild heat, so like the lowest heat setting, because anything that's too high, that could interfere with the molecular structure, and particularly if we work with essential natural substances. So for cosmetic, I only recommend to use only natural essential oils. That's the best thing to do, and that's also the best for your skin, and it's the healthiest. There's a bird up there in the bird tree, flying around in there. It is so cute. And that hummingbird is the same size as the leaves. From here, a predator would never recognize the hummingbird. He hides in there because he looks like one of the leaves from the birch tree. It's so cute. So yeah, so that's how we can make our own natural rose cream. And rose cream that's really the best for face creams and neck and décolleté and shoulders, and also hands, but also body lotion, of course. And so the more roses I'm gonna get, the more I'm gonna utilize that for my own creams, and I might not even need to buy any more rose absolute the in any kind of concentration from any kind of vendor. But if you want to get really high quality products from a vendor, I recommend Eden Botanicals. They really have the absolute top quality, natural, all natural, essential oils from plants and flowers. It's really, really great. But yeah, make your own, and grow your own vegetables also. Make your own stuff, you know, that's the future anyway. So that's where we're gonna be heading towards because we don't know how long our infrastructure is gonna be functioning into the future. So you want to get already prepared to making your own stuff. Okay, you guys take care. Bye bye.